full moon on December 12th, chapter of life, as we prepare to say goodbye to 2019 and begin a whole new decade in 2020. So this is the perfect time to check in with our angels and also to start setting some high intentions for the new cycle of life that's ahead of us. I do see that many of you are already lined up for readings, but if you haven't yet submitted a reading request, you are welcome to call or text the Bring Me to Life team at 240-979-6366. That's 240-979-6366. Or you can submit your reading request on the Bring Me to Life chat. During this show, you will also have the opportunity to donate to the Bring Me to Life network. And we really deeply appreciate any donations that you give, as this helps the Bring Me to Life organization continue to create spiritually empowering content for us all. If you want to donate, just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page at bringmetolife.com and you will see the donate button. Before we begin our readings, let's go ahead and do a little bit of centering, some energy clearing. You deserve a little extra love and support right now, and the angels are here to give it. So go ahead and begin by closing your eyes, taking a moment to relax your body, and deepening and lengthening your breaths. Notice your body's rhythm shifting to match your deep, healing breaths. Your heartbeat softens, creating a healing resonance throughout every cell of your body. Your brain waves gradually begin to shift, creating a state of wide open, peaceful awareness. The deeper you relax, the more still and quiet your mind becomes. Notice how easy it is to let go of any thoughts from your day and to move into perfect. The angels are gathering around you now, forming 7 beautiful rings of rainbow-colored healing light, its own beautiful vibration. As you inhale, allow these healing vibrations to flow into your being. Allowing yourself to be charged with pure heavenly love, beautiful, comforting sweetness, purification and peace. Each ring of light corresponds to one of your chakras, the energy centers aligned along your spinal column. Feel as each of your energy centers lights up with heavenly energy. Noticing as any heaviness or tension from the past easily dissolves away. Creating stillness and purity all the way down the spine, through the energy body, and throughout your magical psyche. You are a clear and open, blank canvas of infinite potential. Within this space of infinite potential, Take a moment to set a healing intention for yourself. And now, take a moment to listen to your heart and to any messages that your angels would offer. Good. Taking in another long, deep, healing breath, feel as rainbow light courses from your crown chakra at the top of the head, down the spine through each energy center, out the root chakra at the bottom of the spine, and flowing out through the legs and the feet like a river that is moving straight down into Mother Earth. Feel as your healing intentions for yourself ground into the physical world, into your life, into your body. Noticing as the angels arrange a network of energetic support around you and your intention. And with your next deep healing breath, affirm the following truth. I am one with my highest good. I now allow my highest good to manifest and express itself in all areas of my life. I am aligned with my highest good. And so it is. With that, we'll take in one final long, deep breath, gathering light into your core. On your exhale, you may gently open the eyes, feeling a nice, beautiful shift as the clarity of the angel's healing just radiates all around you. Beautiful, beautiful work. So we're going to begin with our readings now. Today I'm working with the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle by Colette Baron Reid and the Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Linn. Let's go ahead and see where we would like to go first for our readings. Okay, our first reading request is coming in from Jessie. Jessie says there are a lot of big life changes that will be happening for me in 2020, including starting graduate school, moving in with my significant other too. Ooh, wonderful. Jessie says, I would love some guidance and reassurance that I have made the right choices and I'm on the right path. The last few years have been a lot of letting go of things that don't work for me, and I would love some validation. Thank you. Thank you so much for your question, Jessie. I can tell right away that 2020 is the beginning of a very big, powerful new chapter. It's amazing because your angels are showing us that a lot is culminating. A lot of lifelong dreams that you've held for yourself are starting to culminate in very practical, earthy ways. And that means, yes, Moving through graduate school, that's a physical step in the right direction. Also moving in with your significant other, another very, very positive physical action step in the right direction. They're showing us that for your love life, there are beautiful, beautiful dreams, as I do get a sense that this helps both of you so much with learning what you came here to learn together and helping to even more beautifully kind of catalyze each other's spiritual growth at this time. There's a good purpose for all of this. So I'm pulling some cards from our Sacred Travelers deck right now, just to kind of get a little validation and see if the angels would like to add any extra details to this. Beautiful. Okay. Our first card right away is already giving me some really, really great energy. We have a card called Journey by Moonlight. Journey by Moonlight. So what this card means is that there is an invisible force, a magical or divine invisible force that is orchestrating the pole of energy throughout your life. And yes, you are co-creating with it because you're choosing things and you're taking actions, but you're also equally aligned with this incredible, divine, harmonious force that is so organized and so perfect, and it is meeting you in every choice that you make. It's aligning with you every step you take. So this is a card that says, yes, you're aligned with this sense of divine order in your life right now. Divine timing is also right for you right now. I'm also being drawn to actually look at a very specific image that I'm seeing within this image, which I don't always do when I'm looking at my cards. I don't always focus a whole lot on all the little details in the pictures, but when the angels want me to, they make me. So I see these two little figures that are each playing the flute, and I'm hearing the angels say the word harmony. You and your partner are playing in harmony together, meaning that you're going to be a great support system for one another, and you're both being very divinely guided right now. So that feels really, really good. I feel wonderful things for you. Now, your second card is, oh my gosh, this is so synchronistic. Okay, this is a card called First Light, and the secondary message written on the card says, beginning a new cycle. And that's just what the angels got done telling us about this new chapter of your life that starts next year. It's amazing. You are at the beginning of a new cycle. And again, it's a cycle that is ripe with all of the dreams and intentions that you've been setting for yourself for many years, what you've always dreamed that this phase of your adulthood would be like. You're putting the pieces together for that now, and it really is very, very magical. So First Light, you're starting and you're already feeling it. I'm also hearing your angel saying that sometimes we can feel a little unsure at moments when we're about to start a very big new thing in our lives. It's sort of like that, like a afraid to jump kind of feeling when we're at the edge of the diving board. But you actually have Archangel Ariel with you, the angel of courage and strength. And she's showing us that she's guiding all of your steps and really encouraging you to be brave and not to doubt yourself. You're wiser and stronger than you realize a lot of the time. Even when you don't think you know what you're doing, that's okay. Ariel says that with your courage and with your faith that you're on the right track, you're just going to attract things that are really good for you. By the way, I'm also seeing your guides coming in and reassuring that it looks like for your career, after you are done with graduate school, this is later on, there is a lot of career success that I see for you. And it actually looks very fulfilling. I feel this very exciting, fulfilling feeling as if there are going to be some very, very great doors of opportunity that will open in the right timing as you progress with graduate school. And I see you actually very secure in your career, financially, and so forth. It looks like a very, very nice path ahead. Now we've got a third card that is just kind of giving us some last words of advice as you prepare for this new chapter. The card is the Solitude card. So this is a card that reminds you that you can hear your heart's inner wisdom. and then be comforted by it and to let that wisdom lead the way as to how you paint the details of creating this new chapter when you get quiet, when you take time to rest. And that actually feels really relevant, really important through the final weeks of this month that we're in right now. So the more that you can simplify things, Jesse, calm down and just, take it easy, maybe even sleeping a little bit more, taking a step back from really heavy, intense social energy if you feel guided to do so. I know a lot of us have a lot of social engagements around the end of the year at the holiday season, but they're saying that for you, just do what you need to take care of you first. You owe your first allegiance to your self-care right now, and that solitude is going to prepare you beautifully. I see so much good coming in because your 2020 looks like it's going to start off with a lot of energy moving very quickly. There'll be a lot to do, a lot of exciting things, that you're going to be bringing about. So take this time to prepare, to fill yourself with energy, to rest very, very, very deeply, and to focus on your feelings. You're very much on the right track, my dear. So thank you so much. Thank you for your question. Okay, let's go ahead and see where our angels would like to guide us next. Okay, let's go to Paco. Paco says, my question is about my job and financial situation. It's been 3 difficult years where even having a good, well-paid job, my finances were affected by a life situation more related to a separation. I have been trying to find order and also other job opportunities, but not able to nail down anything. Every time some opportunity shows up, they get blocked somehow. What is my blockage here? What do I need to do? That's a great question, Paco. So let's go ahead and tune into your angels. I'm also going to pull some cards. I am going to do a little mixture of both oracle decks that I have and see which angels we have around you as well. Okay, I see one of the angels coming through very strong today, Paco, is Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron shows that he's working to help raise the vibration of everything in your life, every area that you touch and experience. So that includes your job and finances. You have Uriel helping you to plan a path forward. And from Uriel, I'm hearing the words calm, slow and steady, patience. So that's that kind of a slow and steady wins the race vibe that, with little baby steps of progression, you're going to see your financial situation really turn around. That feels really healing. And in the meantime, that feels like there are lots and lots of opportunities to kind of gentle and still and simplify many areas of your life. So let's turn these cards over and see what the angels have to say about this. Okay, so our first card that we have is the Narrow Pathway, and this is from the Sacred Travelers deck. This is a card that says that it can be actually helpful sometimes to narrow down your options and to narrow down the number of things that you're doing to try to support or push through change regarding your financial life. You've got Archangel Uriel coming in really close, actually, showing us that they're helping you. The angels are helping you to narrow down some of the worries, burdens that might be going on with regard to finances. So listen to any guidance that you might receive that might involve simplifying things, consolidating some of your, responsibilities or anything going on in your financial situation to where you've got a very simple plan ahead, a simple plan that feels, not so stressful, to where it feels like we don't have a sense of being out of control, but a sense of a plan. Again, a very simple, direct path forward. Uriel is telling us that with planning, things go really well for your finances for the long term. Planning feels really good because it also puts you in a place where I'm feeling you standing in control. It feels like you're in control um, of what you're seeing around you. So there's less of a feeling of chaos and stress and things, overwhelming you with regard to all of these responsibilities and things that are going on. So the narrowing pathway just represents, let's break down everything going on step by step. Let's simplify everything in your life, especially at a very practical financial level, and come up with a very step-by-step, simple plan. And if you need guidance on that, they're saying seeking either professional guidance or just guidance, in the form of reading about other people's plans and tactics for those, kind of long-term financial plans that some of us like to make. That feels really, really good. And again, the angels are guiding every step. Then your second card, this one has to do a little bit more with the career side of things, which I like, because the first card gave us a lot of practical about just the finances and all the things on your plate that you have to do. Our second card is the Bard. The Bard, and this is from the Wisdom of Avalon. So the Bard is usually a figure who would travel around and express stories, myths or legends or histories through music, through poetry, through things like this. So what the Bard card is essentially telling us is that communication is really, really one of your gifts when it comes to your career path. And anything that you would like to do to expand or grow or change in your career path that involves you receiving an opportunity in the long run to be able to communicate more, to share more. That really, really helps. I'm also seeing your angels say this too is an area where we want you to plan things very step by step. So it's interesting because the feeling that I'm getting isn't necessarily one where it's like we need to rush out and as quickly as possible find a new job and dive right in. It doesn't feel as if you're necessarily blocked in terms of finding a new job right now. It just feels like there's a matter of timing that's connected to all of this. Your angels are showing us that they have your highest good in mind already, and they want you to know that personal inner healing is playing a role in how quickly you might manifest a new opportunity. I do see that you will have new opportunity for your career on the horizon. It's just that you don't need to rush it right now, and that new opportunity involves you speaking up a little bit more, being more of a communicator, sometimes even creative communication, leadership with that. That's always really helpful around career. For now, however, they're saying that it's good to go slowly with regard to career changes and just start with the first action steps they gave us with regard to that narrowing pathway card around simplifying life and creating a little plan for finances, because they're showing us that having that simple step-by-step plan is actually a good backdrop for emotional and spiritual healing. I pulled the forgiveness card. Forgiveness. This card appears right now because the angels want you to know that forgiveness is actually really, really helpful for healing from trauma specifically. Sometimes when there are big changes that occur in our lives that, surprise us, take us outside of our comfort zone, we process that just like trauma. It's trauma. And they're showing us that it's now a really ripe healing timing to bring in even more practice around forgiveness towards yourself, forgiveness towards others, forgiveness even towards the world, and also forgiveness towards any restrictions or things that had been going on within your finances that felt frustrating, forgiving these feelings, and instead developing a state of faith, peace and faith within. The angels want you to know that with faith, and with a mindset of peace, you can really do anything. And that they'll show you that it's safe to actually get comfortable with moments when you're noticing that there is strain in an area of your life. It's actually really normal for financial strain, particularly for all of us, to really trigger issues around feeling safe and supported at the level of the root chakra. And at a very subconscious, deep level, sometimes we'll make a connection between that feeling of safety towards our relationship with God. God is our original source. God is our original safety. God is our original outpouring of abundance and support in all areas of life. So sometimes when we have fear and stress in our relationship with finances and that kind of thing, We can feel that same stress or tension or even a separation of some kind in our relationship with Source, with our concept of how we connect with God, with the divine, with all. The angels are challenging you, and especially Michael is really protective of you, right by your side right now. He says, I am challenging you to develop faith. Faith, 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 dearest one. He's also bringing forward another guide. This is amazing. I don't see this guide every day showing up for people, but for you, very strong, Paco. This is St. Francis coming forward. I always recognize him because he usually shows up with bare feet. um, he's standing right next to you, and he says that he too is going to help you get comfortable with what right now is very understandably uncomfortable with regard to these, stressors that are going on in your life. But instead of looking at them as stressors and responding with fear, they're going to ask you to respond with comfort, to have this beautiful middle road, simple plan ahead, for feeling very controlled with regard to finances, very calm, and trust that with continued healing and with continued efforts, you are headed towards a job change. And in fact, I actually see a really strong potential for a job change somewhere around midway through 2020. So definitely keep your eyes out for different opportunities that you might be able to find, applying for jobs and that kind of thing. Keep researching. Again, I really trust divine timing. So it might simply be, from the angel's perspective, that they've got something really perfect for you lined up in terms of job, salary, your happiness and fulfillment in it. And that divine timing is really putting together that order for you, and you'll have it in the right timing. So trust, stay the path, and call on all of these guides and angels, especially St. Francis, Archangel Michael, Uriel, Metatron, and I'm seeing even Jesus stepping in and helping you as well. So your prayers have been heard and are being answered, and you've got this beautiful spiritual calling to move into higher and higher faith and peace, no matter the outer circumstances right now, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you for your question. It looks like we now have a caller on. Hi, caller. You are now on the air with us. If you could just introduce yourself and let us know what's your question for today.
Hi, Sarah. This is Nish. And
Hi, Nish.
my question. Hi. My question is there's two of them, but I feel they're related in some way, and I love that we're talking so much about finances because the first part of that is related to that, and especially in the short term, I have a deep trust and kind of a knowing about longer term money coming in, but regarding some travel plans, I feel guided to. I've been taking some action steps and looking at a hotel that I could work at in this new place I'll be traveling, but none of them really jumped out and spoke to my heart or resonated. And so I'm just wondering what types of some ideas on what kind of jobs would not just earn money, because I don't feel like I'm here just to earn money, but they would support life purpose. And the second part I'll just share is regarding a soulmate, which I feel is part of that purpose. And I've met a few people, and one of them I feel like it was kind of in advance, like she may be my future wife, because I feel there's not a readiness in her at the moment, and maybe not myself either, but how I might recognize specifically who that person is.
Yes, thank you. Those are great questions. So let's go ahead and start with we're looking at short-term finances around travel and everything. And your angels are actually saying all of the guidance that they'll give fits in together across both topics quite nicely. So I've pulled a couple of cards for us, and I'm just going to turn over our cards now and see what the angels are showing us here. Okay, this is interesting. So your first two cards I pulled with the intention of gathering some general guidance on your direction as far as travel plans and, the short-term finances needed as you manifest around that. The first card that you have is the Passion and Pleasure card. When we get this card, oftentimes we're asked to follow our passion. Sometimes, Spirit will give us guidance, really strong, by way of passions that show up in our life, a deep, deep, fiery kind of knowingness that says, I need to go to this place or I need to do this thing. And then, we find the pieces of our life coming together. We find that we begin to manifest really important things. So you are right to follow your passions in this, to follow your convictions, your knowingness that this is the direction you're meant to go in with travel. The second card is taking shelter, which is good because this is a card that represents putting down home roots in this location. So that's very good as well. I think you're very much on the right track, starting to think very practically about the financial things, because both of your cards are assurances, validations that this is the right path to go in. So I pulled a couple cards now, specifically asking a little bit more about the finances and see what we get, where you'd kind of land in a situation that makes you feel, really fulfilled, really, really good. So your first card is the Owl. This is from our Wisdom of Avalon Oracle. And when the owl shows up, this is a card that's inviting you to expand your vision, expand your sight. We think of owls and we see how big their eyes are, and they can even see in the dark. They've got these amazing abilities to see. And this represents that they're asking you to expand, broaden your horizons, and open yourself up to unexpected opportunities or towards things that you might maybe not have always thought of yourself as doing and enjoying. Because the feeling that I get is that you might surprise yourself, or the organization that you might find, some work with, it might surprise you, even if it doesn't feel in the beginning like it's quite a match for your usual personality or enjoyment kind of thing. Now, I've got in the second card something really beautiful coming through. I was instinctually hearing the angels saying that if you're in an environment where, at least with some of the work that you do, you feel like you're helping people in some way or offering a healing, kind of effect on the world around you, that this is where you belong, that you'd have really great things come to you from doing that. So we've got the card called Birth and Rebirth. Birth and rebirth. Right away, when I look at this card, it reminds me of the bookend times of life. So when we're very little and we've just come into this world, or when we're old and we're getting ready to leave this world. And the angels are reminding us how sacred those times are and how much those times in the human cycle of life can teach us about healing, because those two times in life happen to be times in which people are they need the most. They need the most human touch, care, love, teaching, guidance, healing, reassurance, and so forth. So again, anything where you could start, branching out and looking at areas where you're helping and you're healing people. And maybe particularly if you see something that allows you to work with children or older people, that feels like it could be helpful. It's interesting as well, because your angels are showing us that you might find more than one opportunity for work for this, kind of short-term additional cash flow. The feeling that I'm getting is that, you might at first have, maybe 2 gigs, 2 jobs, 2 things going on, where one of them is just, for the money, something that maybe you wouldn't normally do. It could be, whatever you feel, maybe an hourly wage type of thing, but it's good because it creates this extra burst of security, and it makes it easier to dig your roots in. And then when it's time, you can always, leave that behind and focus more on one singular thing. It's totally up to you, but they're saying, with whatever combination of activities that you combine for money making and for building your roots in the new location, bring in a little bit of both elements, where sometimes you're just thinking very practically, okay, well, whatever I can get in the best location that works for my schedule, I'm going to go forward and just try it and trust law of attraction, trust what the spirit is bringing me. And then also I want to make sure that I add at least a little something where I can practice helping and healing, because great things will come to you through that. Then I pulled a little final card for how all of this sort of works out. And you have the Merlin card, which is a card of magic and manifestation. So this card represents that everything will balance itself out. It does feel as if finances will work for you. You'll find a way to make all of this kind of combine together in a lifestyle that really does feel supported and healthy and happy. So definitely keep going with it, keep persevering. All of that looks really, really good. And then around a soulmate, around meeting a soulmate, the angels are saying that, again, this is another area where they're guiding us to really trust the law of attraction, trusting that as you put your left foot in front of your right foot and go out there into the world and just get a part of things that you're passionately being drawn to do, that you cannot help but fall into alignment with your soulmate, with the one who will be your life partner, your future beloved. I've pulled an interesting card for this. I just turned it over. It's the card called Faraway Places. Isn't that interesting? So you're talking about traveling and going into a new location, and we're asking about the soulmate, and we get this faraway places thing. So that tells you that, again, yes, changing locations is perfectly in alignment with being with your soulmate and divine timing. So this person, you'll meet this person, you'll find a way to ground and root and connect with them on your journey. So choose, again, as your passion tells you to choose. And then we also have, for meeting the soulmate, the fellow traveler card, fellow traveler. So that shows that there's a sense of companionship, and there's a sense of this person just already being aligned with the path that you are on. And the angels would like to explain that a little bit. They're just telling us that for all of us, when we make choices on our life's path and we are drawn equally by both our free will action steps, as the angels were describing earlier, and by this divine order, this divine intelligence that meets us in every action step we take. And that's, in truth, drawing us forward with all of our action steps, helping to influence what we will choose. Those action steps are perfectly harmoniously aligned with your soulmate, with every human being with whom you are meant to make a meaningful connection. So this soulmate is going to fall into step with you as you continue to move on this path. As far as meeting this person goes, I'm hearing the angels say a couple of things. First of all, they are saying beauty inside and out. So that definitely shows, okay, you recognize their outer beauty. You also recognize their inner beauty, their kindness, grace, goodness. I also feel some sensitivity, a little quiet energy around this person. So that means take a little time to get to know each other, because some people, it takes them a little longer to open up. And there is this feeling of you potentially knowing this person for a little while before the two of you really realize that deep connection. So that's a little validation they just wanted to add. And otherwise, they're saying, as a little personal mantra, you can always think to yourself, okay, divine will be done. Let the divine will be done. I surrender to the higher intelligence and just let it work, because it can't fail me. I can't miss my soulmate. This person is showing up in perfect timing when we're both ready.
Okay. And if I could just ask you one clarification question.
Sure.
I'm the type that has such a trusting surrender into life that I will travel to this place and with having just enough money to go there and trust that I will find the place. But in past, the practical aspect of life has been something where I've ignored a bit, and my body's kind of grounded me back and let me know. So in this case, do I want to be sure to find a place where I can earn some money before traveling, or finding a place to stay where I can exchange work, which I have found a place where I can exchange living there for just helping out this woman who happens to be an elder? Will that be enough?
Wow. Yeah. That actually feels really good. I pulled a couple of cards for this, and the feeling that I'm getting just right off the bat is that we want to balance that enthusiastic, trusting, open arm, embracing where life is leading you energy with an equal measure of the practical, so that we can have a grounded, supported space for that beautiful enthusiasm to be able to sprawl out all around you. So we're going to definitely pay attention to both energies. We see that with the staying focused card and the embracing enthusiasm card together. So I thought that was just so perfect that they want you to balance these things. And they are showing us that, yes, having enough of a plan to where you at least know that you are exchanging work for, lodging and that kind of thing. That actually feels really good. The angels are saying that it's a good bridge. So it's a good sort of like, okay, even if I know I won't necessarily be doing this forever while I'm here. I've got something to get me started, and I can do this. And then maybe eventually, in addition, I can get an extra little gig and start saving away some money so that I can transition and put my roots down even further. And wow, what a synchronicity as well, that you've got someone who's a little older that needs a little help and care too. That's just uncanny. And that of the options that you mentioned feels like it's really bright. There's something about it where it would give you a lot of gifts, a lot of spiritual gifts.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome, Nish. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, and all the best of luck with everything.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, let's go ahead and see which reading we'd like to go to next. I'm just going to see where the angels are taking us. Okay, so we're going to go to Izzy. Let's go ahead and read this. It says, "Hi, Sarah. I'm wondering, how can I best raise my vibration as I enter the new year? In what ways can I release some of the heaviness that I feel?" Thank you, Izzy, for this question. Actually, I'm really glad the angels just sort of guided me towards this one, because I think that this is going to apply to a lot of people that are listening right now. First of all, I'm hearing Archangel Metatron come forward and say loud and clear, "Call on me, call on me, call on Metatron." Metatron is explaining right now that he's actually been helping the collective a lot lately with raising vibration, particularly people who are sensitive light workers, empaths, earth angel types, those that feel guided to help or to be on some kind of a very conscious, intentional spiritual path. Metatron is helping a lot of us right now because we're all going through a lot of transitions. The collective energy is shifting over into a major new chapter. And at a big level, we're all cleaning up a lot of old karmic energy from the past, old karmic heaviness. So you are right in alignment. Don't ever think that you're not alone in this process. Any heaviness that you feel, your angels are describing right now, is actually the result of cleaning up old karmic energy from lessons in the past. So it's almost as if we're going over old ground where it's like, okay, an old challenge that I might have had in the past, or an old, mental or internal, feeling of heaviness or blockage or thought system that, had been there at some point in my earlier life. I'm reviewing it, and I'm reviewing it so that I can look at it and kind of clean up all the last vestiges of its final imprints, make peace with the way that these patterns have maybe imprinted your life. So Metatron's big answer for you, he's saying, is take some time to retreat into quiet and to either journal or meditate or do a little bit of both, and take some time to listen to your heart. Your heart is going to tell you everything that you want to know with regard to any heavy patterns that have been going on in your life, what lessons they relate to, what things, maybe where they came from, their root system, as far as your past experiences. Just write down or think out loud all of the things that are related to these things, all the things that your heart wants you to understand, hear, and heal about yourself. Once you've taken inventory of these things, the angels show that you're going in a new direction. They show that acknowledgement and validation of these past karmic lessons is enough to create a beautiful, inspiring push into higher energy. And that's something that's going to be very, very, very beautiful. So with that, I'm just going to turn over one final card for you and see if the angels have anything else they want to bring you. Beautiful. This card says, reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. You're about to reach your destination. The angels are reminding us of the old adage that sometimes it's darkest before the dawn. We feel a last push of challenging resistance from our ego or from other old, structures in our lives once we're about to push through and make a very big change, a change to where it looks like your life is lighter and there is more empowerment for you to create the things that you want to create and to complete your life purpose. Really, that feels very big right now. So all that is opening up for you, and we're moving through these last vestiges of heaviness so that you have the opportunity to review them, to make peace with them, to send forgiveness, angels and to send love and approval to yourself and out into the universe as well. All of these things are the angels are saying rainbow bridge into the next life. And in fact, I do see Archangel Metatron giving you a lot of rainbow energy. So when you meditate, envision rainbow energy, call on rainbow colored energy. This is a light that is full spectrum. So it's full of fertility, of the magic of creation, of being able to create anything, brand new energy. It's healing and revitalizing. And it's very good at raising your vibration. So bring that light in and work with it, especially through these last few weeks of December and getting ready to push through and begin our new year. Thank you, Izzy. All right, let's go and see where we'd like to go next. Okay, we have a question from Q. So Q says, I'd love an angel reading as I start to embark on a new journey, as I leave toxic people and situations in the past and create a new chapter for this new decade that will be healthy, true, love-centered, and for my highest good. Any necessary advice and messages from the angels are most welcome. Thanks, Q. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. First of all, I'm hearing your angels tell us that you are so on track. It's like you've got a cheerleading team around you spiritually right now, and they're very proud of you because it's as if they're cheering you on, really, really happy, uplifted energy because they're celebrating your successes. You have been very good at listening to your inner guidance, learning some spiritual lessons along the way, especially throughout 2018 and 19 for you. It looks like a really, it's been a powerful time, and one that is now resulting in a lot of empowerment. So that empowerment is naturally going to take you into a very love-centered new chapter of life. I feel you attracting very healthy, positive people. That's number one. And then I see you drawn towards doing work in the world, making a creative impact. That feels really good too. So let's turn these cards over and see what we get. Okay, your first card is the partnership card. So right away, that I feel that speaking to romantic relationships. The angels are assuring you that there's some kind of a really positive shift or something that you can really trust or feel a sense of support in that will be coming in with regard to partnerships and romantic relationships. So any praying that you've been doing around that, they're saying keep the faith and set some nice high intentions around partnership, around true love. We're delivering this to you. This is happening. This is manifesting now, and we're bringing faith around this situation for you as well. Your second card is the cow, which is a great spirit animal. This is an animal that represents nourishment, abundance, the balance between giving and receiving. It's also a very gentle energy. So what we're getting when we tune into this for you is the angels are telling us that as a result of the work that you've done a really great job of creating energetic structures of support around your life that create a lot of room for abundance and peace to flow. I see really good, stable financial abundance on the way. I actually see new opportunities coming in for that lead you into a very long-term, fruitful growth for your finances. So keep following whatever path you've started or with any ideas you've received for that. And know that these healthy boundaries that you've been able to set recently in your life, these are really, really good too. These basically are those proper structures of support around you that are making it possible for love to really grow. So in any of our lives, if we want to really hold space for high vibrations, to live from an energy of love, then we must create space around it and hold that space in the same way that if we had a fire, we need to put that fire in a space in order for it to do the good things that we want it to do. So when we put fire inside of a hearth, it spreads warmth and light and life-giving energy throughout the home. If we let it run amok outside of the hearth, then it can burn the house down. So that's why boundaries are important in our lives. And this energy, this idea is coming to you right now saying, you've done that work. And keep holding the healthy boundaries. This is creating room for your abundance to actually grow bigger than it has maybe in previous chapters. So this is going to be great. Then your final card is giving us a little bit more of a nudge down some of the specifics of what the angels would like to guide you for your life purpose. It's the serpent. And the serpent is a card that represents knowledge, transformation, and healing. Healing. I'm hearing the angels say that you actually are a natural healer. You've got very, very nurturing, healing, beautiful vibes. I actually feel really beautiful, parental, kind of loving, nurturing, maternal energy that flows through you, my dear. So remember that if you apply that energy towards your purpose, towards your work life, towards any major endeavors that you passionately feel drawn towards, first of all, you're going to learn a whole lot more. I feel incredible divine knowledge coming to you as you work on things that enable you to help others. And this raises up your energy and it raises up the energy of the world. So we see those structures that you've started to plant in your life becoming actually bigger and stronger so that we can't topple them. They're so strong. It's like a big building, sturdy, strong. So you're very much on the right track. Continue with these beautiful boundaries. Take on more that allows you to serve, heal other people, or to learn more about your role as a healer, because this is a gift of yours. And to know that, yes, you're about to receive a higher level of abundance and a higher level of companionship around partners and people. Thank you, Q. Let's go ahead to our next reading and see what we have. All right, we have a request coming in from Layson. Layson says, "Hi, Sarah. Can I please have some guidance on my career for this year? I have a calling to change my career field, but not sure how to break into this. This is something to do with maritime. Do the angels have messages and guidance for me? Thank you, love and light." Thank you so much for your question, Layson. So I'm hearing a lot of angels actually coming forward. You have a big group of guides. You must have been praying quite a bit about this because I see an incredible support system around you, full force. A lot of Archangel Michael and angels that work with Archangel Michael around you, very, very strong. I actually do feel you going down a good path. With regard to this maritime path that you're talking about, it feels really good for me because the angels keep saying the word as if you're getting a specific. They're saying you're becoming specialized and specific in your skill and in your power. And there's something about having a skill set or a focus that feels this specific and directed and niche, like a niche need that's out in the world, a niche market or a niche, calling that makes you very successful. I feel you learning a whole lot as you go down this road, and again, developing these very unique and specialized skills that feel like everybody wants to go to you for them. And again, this is such a theme for all of us today. I love this, but the angels are saying for you, Layson, abundance, 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 abundance. Yes. They're in fact telling us that they have been trying to guide this little career change into your life for some time because they know that it's an answer to prayers around actually making quite a leap in terms of financial abundance for the long-term future. This is something that's really going to work out. The sky's the limit for you. I feel really good things. And it's interesting, I have to mention this. You have a lot of ancestors in heaven who are praying for you. They're very, very vocal. You've got quite the team around you that supports you, and they actually send a lot of prayers your way. They see you as someone who's lucky and very, very blessed, and they just want you to know that this is something that they support, this career change for you as well. I pulled a couple of cards. Your first card is the Wind Fairy from our Avalon deck. And this is actually a card that represents the intellect. So when we think of air and wind, sometimes it actually symbolizes thoughts, words of communication, deep intellectual analysis, the ability to convey deep intellectual thoughts and organize them into beautiful working, kind of systems, we'll say, of thought and action. So you've got a lot of talent, and this is something that you've got the ability to be a leader in this new career area. So use your wisdom, your thoughts, your intellectual analysis. This is the right way to go. This is a great again, niche market for you kind of thing, niche area. The second card is the Cat, which represents healthy boundaries and independence. So this says, first of all, make healthy boundaries in your life with anything going on where you feel a pressure from the outside world to follow the tried and true beaten path or to go the assured way or something like that. you've gotten this inspiration, this divine guidance from a very trustworthy, kind of solid place. So take an independent path. Go this different way. This is secure. It's secure for you to do so. Your final card. Oh my gosh, this is tying all of these ideas together so well. It's the stag. And the stag represents leadership. So remember, the angels kept saying, oh, you could be a leader. You should be a leader. The sky's the limit. You're using your intellect to come up with big ideas and to lead with that intellect, to protect people with that intellect, to create great organized systems with it. There's this beautiful feeling of success. So this says that your final outcome, again, is one that is very successful. They're saying, take a leap of faith. Go ahead with this. This is something really that will work out, it feels. So thank you, Layson. Let's go ahead and see where we'd like to go next. All right, angels, where do we want to go? Okay, we are being guided towards Sonia. So the angels say that this is actually going to be our last reading because this is giving us a pretty good theme to kind of wrap up our little theme of messages we've had today. Sonia says, I recently met someone and can't get a read off of him. I felt a strong connection with him at the start, and then he decided to ghost me. Will I talk to him again? Also, what do I need to work on within myself to draw more authentic connections? I'm starting to date after a long time and it's been hard. Thank you. Yes. Okay, Sonia, I'm so glad that the angels led us to you because we've had this theme of the idea of boundaries and going our own, kind of independent way with a lot of the messages that have come through. So that actually feels important in this situation. I'm just shuffling our cards right now, listening to the angels who are around you. You've got very protective angels who are very protective of your heart. They're telling us that your heart is delicate, sensitive, and very special. You have a kind of love that is very special to give in relationships, and so you deserve someone who's worthy of it, meaning that there's someone who's able to recognize and appreciate it and protect and take care of it and be on the same page. Give to you at the same level that you can give. So with this particular past relationship, the feeling that I'm actually getting is that we're not necessarily in the best energy with this person. The angels are saying to really hold very high standards and to discern, whether or not it's good to spend time or invest energy in someone based on the little things. So this person has already given you a pretty strong indication of who he is because he decided to ghost you. I know that that's a really common, unfortunately, a way that people seem to communicate in the modern world with all of the social media and texting and the constant barrage of information that's hitting a lot of us lately. But that's no excuse, for treating someone disrespectfully, especially if you've already made a strong connection with someone. He's showing you exactly who he is and how emotionally available he is by way of not respecting you enough to speak up and say, hey, this isn't the right time for me. I'm going to need some space, or hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. He had every opportunity to express all of those things to you, to speak up very clearly. It shows a lack of respect, yes, but also a lack of courage and being willing to stand up with integrity and represent the choices and feelings that you have with honesty. So someone that's not willing to be honest, and courageously represent their feelings, even if they know that it maybe isn't what the other person wants to hear, those aren't very good qualities. That's not a very strong integrity that this person is currently holding. We're not going to negatively judge this person as a bad human being because they're going through these things. This is just the stage of development that we're seeing based on, the energies around this person and the choices that this person has made. I pulled a card over for this person as well, and it's a card called the Impasse. Being at an impasse in life. So this is basically saying that we've met a wall, we've met our block, and it's a good time to think of a new route with this particular person. So go forward, leave the energy of this behind. I actually feel a much more meaningful connection that will be coming for you in your future. That's very, very important. Your second card is grounding. Okay, I love this. So this is a card that's saying that for a little time, maybe over the next couple weeks or so, take some time to ground yourself. That same message that we've repeatedly received today about how sensitive all of our energy is right now is coming back in saying, take a little time to retreat, go into stillness, go into quiet, disconnect a little bit if you need to, and spend time grounding, journaling, doing a little meditating, sitting quietly, reading a good book, or just getting cozy and resting, napping a little bit more. All of that actually feels really, really good because it's going to resettle your energy in the wake of letting go of this connection with this person who just wasn't quite at your level as far as emotional availability goes. It takes energy when we invest in other people, and then it takes energy to disinvest that energy as well. So your angels are guiding you to do that. And then your third card is the Swan from the Avalon deck. The Swan is a beautiful representation of transformation, and also a card that represents that it's important to trust your intuitive impulses when it comes to the future path with regard to dating. So the angels are telling us, Sonia, that, again, your heart is very tender, and they're protecting it very fiercely and very powerfully with incredible love right now, because they say that you don't deserve to get hurt again or disappointed again like in the past. And that's a big reason why they're inviting you to go nice and slow. And the angels are going to be very good at helping to kind of co-create, orchestrate what goes on within your dating life, which is why it'll be great to listen to your intuition, because through your intuition, your angels are going to be giving you pretty strong signposts along the way as to who is worth investing in and how much you'd like to invest in them. So by all means, date. Dating is good. The angels are guiding you definitely to be dating. Just be even more choosy. Keep your standards really, really high, and listen to the little nudges that you get over even the smallest behaviors that people show, because something like ghosting, a lot of people don't think it's a big deal, but it actually can tell you volumes about a person's character. Or, other little things, say they're not very kind to the server at the restaurant or something like that. Again, these little things speak volumes. You witness them telling a white lie to one of their friends when they could have just been perfectly honest and compassionate. That too, a big indicator of what's in their character. So these are the main things that it feels like your angels are going to steer you to be very aware of. And likewise, be aware of the little things that just show goodness. Someone that cleans up after themselves because they want to do their part to contribute to the team effort. Someone that's kind or holds the door open for a stranger. All those kinds of qualities. Or they always text back because they're considerate of your feelings. That kind of thing. Look at those as the building blocks of, yes, this is the kind of character that I'm meant to be drawn with, because your angels say that your soulmate is actually someone who is sensitive, highly sensitive. They are kind. They have a high sense of honor, an old-fashioned, strong sense of integrity, and they're going to make you feel really, really safe. And it feels like being connected with this soulmate, it feels like it's healing you in areas of life that go all the way back to your paternal lineage. It feels like anything that you might have learned from your paternal lineage, whether good and that made you feel sheltered and safe and happy, that is going to be reappearing in this soulmate. And it's also healing for anything not so good that had come out of your paternal lineage. So any heaviness, any unforgiveness, any of that, we're seeing a closing of a karmic circle there and an elevating of the energy as you combine with this future soulmate. So keep your standards high. Don't stop for anybody that's not worthy because they're not willing to be on your level with this integrity stuff. Your heart is special, pure, and you're going to be attracting someone who's right at your level, my dear. So thank you so much for your question. Thank you everyone else who sent in your questions today. I just want you all to know that the angels are guiding and watching over all of you. They want you all to know that no matter your questions or your thoughts for them, that there is a beautiful lifting of energy coming. There's a beautiful opportunity to move through old density or heaviness and lift now. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. Thank you so much for joining me. And do remember to tune in again tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Bring Me to Life Radio for our annual Solstice Stories episode of Through the Eyes of the Angels. I really look forward to this episode every single year because it's a time to share stories from all around the world about the rebirth of light. And I love stories. And I will, of course, be giving more angel readings tomorrow too. So you're welcome to call or text in again if you still have another question for your angels. Next month, I will also be back for Through the Eyes of the Angels on Thursday, January 16th. That's our usual third Thursday of the month. And again for Angel Hour on Thursday, January 23rd, both at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So mark your calendars for January 16th, January 23rd, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, right here, and we'll hang out again. I love you all so much. Thank you all for being here and sharing in this wonderful journey. My blessings go with you. Bye-bye.